Hello again, everyone. I am happy to say that the last video did better than the previous one in terms of views. So yeah, that's happy. Not much better, but any cloud has a silver lining. Also, I made a new Minecraft skin. Look at me. Overall, it's supposed to be based off of my avatar, which I'm not going to be using much nowadays, barring special occasions. Took off my armor just so you can see it. And let me go ahead and show you the back of my head. Based off of, well, perhaps you'll be able to figure that out. And there's the front. Honestly, I might leave my armor off. It's pretty dinged up. But then again, if I try to smelt it all I will get is a single iron nugget, and I'm not exactly confident on spending the resources to repair it, so perhaps we'll leave that as is. Now clearly there is more work I could be doing on the ring, but I did make these pickaxes for a reason, so let's go ahead and put some stuff away, and then get to that reason. Lapis. Didn't expect to see this. I really love lapis lazuli. It'll be quite a while before I can use it for its now intended purpose of enchanting, but, well, blue concrete is a favorite block of mine and will be seeing extensive use once the construction of the tower begins in earnest. Right now, though, still gotta make space for it. The current plan for... Is it raining? Heh. Must be because we're relatively close to the walls. Anyway, the current plan for this video specifically is to make a video that is relatively well compressed like I've done for the last two. The first one was 7 hours into 45 minutes. The last one, despite what I said in the recording itself, when you account for all the extra bits that I over-recorded on, was closer to 12 hours after all, and was successfully compressed into less than an hour. I believe almost, but not quite 56 minutes, which I was quite happy with, and it did seem to get a better reception overall. This time around, the goal is similar, but I'll simply extend where I currently was. AKA, I am going to do 4 recording sessions of 4 hours each, for a total of 16 hours of footage, which will hopefully be able to be reduced to less than an hour as I did for the last one. I'm basically giving this the endurance test to see how far I can really push it. Right now I'm hopeful, especially if this video earns even more views than the last one. But of course nothing in this world is guaranteed like that, so we'll still be cautious. Well, I say cautious, but I mean to say that I'll temper my expectations. If you haven't already, do please subscribe. I do need another since I lost one subscriber, presumably from inactivity. I did severely underestimate how long the new process of editing will take, but I was happy with the final result. And I do think I can speed it up. So that'll be what we're testing as well, seeing how fast I can reasonably speed that up. If nothing else though, since I intend to finish the recording sessions much faster overall, the original plan, as in the current plan, is to do all 4 sessions, this being the first one, over 2 days instead of the last one's 3 to 4, should make things more manageable, if only because I'm gonna get to editing sooner. But life always finds a way to ruin the best laid plan, so that's why I'm calling it the current and original plan. I already anticipate that I won't be able to follow it through, or at least not as closely as I'm doing so now. But let's see if we can't have a pleasant surprise this time. Blocks of lapis lazuli. Honestly, I feel like that could be polished to make a proper gem block, but I don't think there's any recipes for that. Nobody exists on purpose, nobody belongs anywhere. What a strange achievement. Whoa. I keep almost doing that, and I keep kicking myself for it, and I keep not doing anything about it. Still, the good news is that I am getting lower. Sure, it's only by a block every time, but the lower I am, the less devastating it will be if I do fall. With keep inventory on, it's not like I have to worry about losing my stuff, but well, as long as I'm alive, I'm not gonna die just to save myself on food, so it does still save on that. Alright, and that's another layer down. The one problem with this digging in general, I should say, is that it's hard to show off progress. Like, sure, here I am looking down, and you can see that it does go a fair way, but if I take the same angle from over here, all it does is look like the walls have dropped a bit. It'll take nearly digging to the center for things to start looking proper, and even once I do, it's just that it takes a lot of progress to make it look suitably dramatic. It will be easier if I was doing like a montage or something, but I think I don't quite have the skill level to manage that. That's the trouble with wounds like this. You don't truly heal them because healing them would be undoing progress. You just have to scoop out enough around it until it doesn't count as a mark anymore. Which, as you can imagine, takes a while. Case in point. Ooh boy, that's gonna be painful, but we gotta do it. Yep, that's another part of this corner. Absolutely obliterated. I saw that skeleton, with an enchanted bow no less. See, there it is. You can just barely see it by the glowing of its bow. Ah. Still, as long as we take it easy like this, we can keep just blocking it up every time it shows up. Overall, I can't tell which part of this structure is the most annoying and that I'm looking forward the most to getting rid of. This 1 to 2 block dip in the structure, which did confuse my building techniques at least once already. Or obviously, this long-term problem, which is this entire thing, the ravine. This is annoying, but so far it's been simple, quote unquote, to deal with, while that over there has confounded me at least once. Well, nothing for it. It'll all get smoothed out eventually. Keyword is eventually. What the? How long has that hole been there? Well, that hole is unacceptable. Spiders might get in. Anyway, if you noticed a sudden jump, or more fearfully, a sudden drop in video quality, I decided to set the gameplay back to 60 frames per second. Normally, I would record it in 30 frames per second as it would be easier on my computer, especially when it comes to file sizes. But then I realized I keep forgetting to set my recording software to 30 frames per second to actually take advantage of that. So I have decided for now to set it back to 60 frames per second. I might change it back later, we will see. It really is a whole different experience. I'll have to get used to how it looks again. Didn't blocking with swords used to be a thing, or did I imagine that? I know you need a shield to block effectively, but I could have sworn blocking with swords used to be a thing, like you would cross your sword over your chest. Unless that was part of a mod or something. Still can't believe I let a scrap of sunlight through. How did I ever make that mistake? How did it take so long for me to notice that mistake? Wait, I think I know what happened. It's not that that block was left open this entire time. It's that an Enderman stole the dirt block that used to be there, which opened the way under the wooden patch. Ah, bloody Enderman. And if you're wondering why I'm building over the ravine here instead of doing what I normally do and digging down to its level in the case of smaller patches, well, that's for the simple fact that trying to dig my way out of that would render me digging a staircase clear outside the boundaries. Or at least that's a fear. The lower I get, the less of a concern that is, but I'm nowhere near low enough yet. Alright, I'm done digging for now. Let's get some more progress done on this ring of ours. The trouble is, this diagonal is obviously too close, and the corner is way too far. Truthfully, I do think I could be perfectly happy with this diagonal, but I do want to commit. So that said, how can we do this? The more I look at this, the less sure I am of where I should go with it. Perhaps I should be content with mere diagonals after all. After all, that's why I build everything to be a perfect cube, because I can't trust myself using any other method. Yeah, it'll be painful, but let's get rid of this. Well, that's one thing of birch logs done. Of course, there's all the planks that I have to get rid of under them, because again, I can't just do something as simple as look down and click the side of the block to place the log, because no, that puts it sideways, even though I'm looking down. Look, I know there's no one right way, but I wish I could choose between whether the orientation of a block that has an orientation depends on player look or if it depends on block orientation. Anyway, now for the fun part. Huh, so that does take durability. Good to know. Now for the tedious part, getting rid of the planks on this side and then repeating it on the other side. I have no clue how I'm gonna do that. Alright, that's one half of the diagonal path down. But now I'm wondering, should I even keep the diagonals? After all, these are directly in the way of the tower, unlike the edge pieces. I will have to get rid of these sooner rather than later. For now, I'm going to expand them. How? Genuinely how? Like, there isn't even any other members of the raiding party nearby. It's literally just two random crossbow guys. I didn't even know they could spawn without the lead guy. Well, there's the rest of the raiding party. Alright, I have to go ahead and despawn them. But I'll be back to fix this and then fix it again. Oh, ain't that beautiful? Let's just go ahead and use up this axe because I do not want to keep it around. Alright, and that will be all for today. So let's review. I did some more digging. I tried to circle a square and failed before I decided to simply build on what I already had, which I do like looking at. Next time I'm gonna do the same over there, then I'm gonna do some more digging. But after this recording session, I don't think I'm going to announce the beginning and end of individual sessions, barring, of course, the last one at the very end of the video, just so that I don't have to fiddle around with it as much while editing and can make easier decisions then. That said, once that's all complete, depending on the resources I've gathered or found, certain other things might be in order. But that's going to be saved for next time. See you in a bit. Okay, we are back. I had to move some stuff around because, boy, even if the recording was in 60 FPS despite the game being in 30, it actually did significantly increase the file size, changing it back. So after this video, I'm probably going to switch both settings back to 30. I've also decided to go ahead and try upscaling the resolution to see if that fixes the blurriness issue. I record in 1080p, but I figure maybe if I export it in something like 1440, it might show up better, because YouTube has to make it fit better. But I suppose we'll see how that turns out. Well, enough dallying, let's get on with it. Right now I want to finish putting up the decoration on this corner. That is these wood blocks and the wooden railing. I have considered using fences. I think that would let the wood stretch a bit farther. I think. I'm not sure. But ultimately, I've decided to continue as I went along. Besides, I doubt any skeleton or normal hit would be able to propel me over a 1 block height unless I was being an idiot and jumping around to avoid it, which, to be fair, is something I do a lot. Oh, I need a new axe. I need a couple axes in order to be able to work, because one, I'm working with primarily wood, so these act as an eraser of sorts, and like an eraser, they can get rid of the bark off of a log, unlike any other block. Alright, that's the outside layer done, but I still need to figure out a way to manage the inside layer. Hey, so it turns out that unlike every other block, honeycomb blocks can't actually be turned back into honeycomb. So making this was kind of a waste. Oh well. I should be able to. Yep, there it is. A bit more out of the way than I anticipated, but I can still reach it, so it's good enough for my purposes. It would have been so much easier if I used the logs as railing and the wooden planks as the sole support block, but it wouldn't make as much sense structurally. After all, logs are big, they're sturdy, they are what you use. Those pillagers are back again? Why do they like this entrance so much? Oh, whatever. Y'all can rot down there. Just don't come up here. The rough part is they're just sticking around. Is it because there's a door there? Are they interested because there's a door? And I don't want to get too close because, as far as I can tell, pillagers have two states: passive aggressive and aggressive. And once you get close enough, they become aggressive, and no amount of running will dissuade them. You know, I guess that's why honeycomb blocks only take 4 honeycomb instead of 9 like most composite blocks do. Because it's meant to turn into a decorative block as as one of its intended uses, and not just a more compact method of storage like it is with most blocks. I guess that means they're kind of like logs in reverse. Alright, now for the fun part. Gosh, I kind of like that noise, but it makes my ears tingle in a bit of a bad way. Geez, that actually wears your axe out pretty badly, huh? Alright, now it's time for the tedious part. Collecting as much of the wood planks as I can. As much of a pain as it is, it seems like the best way to go about getting into a position to collect them is just to straight up build out a temporary platform and then destroy it as I go. So, guess we're doing just that. Another raiding party? And they're even on top of the platform? Come on, how many times do I have to walk away only to come back for them to despawn? And sure, the rest of the party seems to be moving on, but they're idiots who got themselves stuck up there, so they won't be able to move on with the rest of them. So I have to go out of my way and move like a billion blocks away just so that they get the chance to skedaddle. I hate pillager raiding parties. And it's not like I'm in any position to fight them. I'm terrible at combat. I'm sure I have iron armor, but it's almost busted because of how many endermen I've tried and failed to kill. Still, you would think that they would have to spawn at least a specific distance away from you, but it doesn't seem to be the case. There are many times where I've just been exploring out in the wild, and I've run smack dab into one with no warning. Oh boy. Well, that's 1/4 of the substructure, I'm going to call it from now on, complete. Nice barriers, beautiful view. All it's missing are torches. Tricky construction is my least favorite part of the game, being truthful, but I'm playing alone, so it's not like I have any choice in the matter, and I do like how it looks. It's not like I can designate myself as the resource guy and someone else as the builder guy when I'm the only guy in town. Well, that's 1/4 of the substructure well and truly complete. Geez, me cutting down so many trees again reminds me of when I was first clearing out the land inside of that tower. Boy, that feels like a lifetime ago. Though I reckon it has been at least a few months since then. Huh, weird. Is this also part of the ravine? Oh boy, I keep finding new holes. What luck. Still, if this is truly part of the ravine, this might be the end of it. Unless it's a different ravine altogether, but I'd really rather not think about that possibility. Well, I guess it could just be a normal cave. Not everything has to be a ravine. Now this is comforting. Borderline relaxing, even. Gosh, I could really go for a pizza right now. But then again, when could I ever not go for one? Oh, hey, more coal. After all those torches I made, I could always use more. Dang it, dug one spot too deep. Not that it matters all that much, but I really hate all the normal interruptions to the pyramid I'm digging as it is, and I really don't need to introduce more man-made errors. I'm about 15 blocks away from the middle. Well, nothing like the present to try to reduce that distance. That's another patch of daylight. Enderman. There. This time I'm gonna try something different to see if it's any easier. Instead of putting blocks at the bottom and then placing the logs on top of them, I'm going to do placing temporary blocks on top and then placing the logs under. This should mean that I'll be able to collect the temporary blocks on top easier. Though I will still need to make temporary platforms to attach the logs from the bottom this time around. Actually, I won't even need to get rid of these blocks in particular, since this is basically just a railing that's installed the same over there. Alright, that looks just fine from up top, but it's looking from the side and from down up that matters. Well, truthfully, all angles matter, but those are the angles that are currently deficient, for obvious reasons. But I should have everything perfectly set up, so now I just gotta set up the platforms to plug and play. And the easiest way to do that would probably be from the roof. It feels a bit backwards and upside down, but honestly, yeah, this is somewhat intuitive. It feels like it's quite a bit easier and quite a bit faster than what I did for that corner over there. Now, granted, I did waste a bunch of time there trying to make something that didn't work, aka squaring the circle, or I should really say, circling the square. So that is skewing my perspective a bit, but still, I'm quite happy with how this is turning out. And here, the only cleanup that I have to do, instead of chopping off all the temporary blocks on the bottom, is just to get rid of the temporary platforms themselves. Scaffolding would probably be a bit more efficient, but those cost a ton of string if you want to use them in useful amounts. Alright, that's half of the substructure done, one half to go. But the first order of business next time will be to replenish my stack of wood. I need at least a full stack to be comfortable, despite having plenty of logs. I would also like to remake my iron helmet. I should have enough iron for it, but considering the sorry state of the rest of my armor, I might just wear it until it breaks. But before any of that, number one priority is obviously more food, as indicated by the conspicuously empty food slot. So, yeah, that's gonna be next time. So, see you in a bit. Alright, today's agenda is simple food. Food first, and then we're gonna go ahead and chop up some more wood. I'll also go ahead and take down those dark oaks and then replant them. Gotta get uh gotta get started on a new stockpile of dark oak wood as well, after all. How the heck? Never mind. Whew. Just relax. I will of course cut to any significant loot that I manage to pick up, but otherwise I am more than happy to spend like an hour doing this. And the first thing I picked up is another fishing rod with unbreaking of all things. Oh, a pair of boots. Just a normal pair of boots. Oh, I picked up a new rod. Luck of the Sea 3 and mending. A bit more fragile than this current rod, but very acceptable. I'll go ahead and put it in my offhand so it can start getting fixed. Unfortunately, I can't dual wield. Even, well, I guess I am dual wielding, but I can't dual fish. A book? Loyalty 3 for a trident that I'll never get. Another one? Curse of Vanishing and Luck of the Sea 2. And that's this chest full up. Oh, a new book. Power 3, Piercing 3, and Mending. I think those are both bow enchantments, so that's a pretty good bow book. I probably won't use it on a bow, but it's still pretty good. Hey, another pair of boots. Let's go ahead and just pop those together. Rotten flesh? You can pull out rotten flesh from the ocean? Very interesting. A bone. Concerning. Piercing 3, Sweeping Edge 3, Protection 3, Loyalty 3. A more mismatched set of enchantments I never did see. Efficiency 3. A Curse of Vanishing Bow, Power 4, Unbreaking 3. Worthless. But that does confirm that Power is a bow enchantment. Luck of the Sea 3. I guess if I wanted to make another fishing rod, though I already have plenty, I reckon. You know what? If I get enough loot, I should bother to sort it all. I just want to do something real quick. There. If I ever want to build it, now I have it. Power 4, Unbreaking 4. And we're done. Seriously? I'll have been waiting there the entire time? Still out there? Yep, if anything, they've gotten closer. Well, good thing I have 2 doors. You know, I wish, cooking fish or really anything on a campfire actually made sound, but there isn't beyond the slight crackling of the fire itself. Alright, we managed to cook all our food. I'm gonna go ahead and take a small break again, and then we're gonna chop down. What in the gosh dang? How'd the wandering trader get up there? And also, I realized I forgot to torch up that part of the substructure. Well, now I have to go at least see what he's selling. Hey, bud, join your camel down here. No. No. Yeah, maybe I should have put a fence there if they're gonna be idiots like that. They'll sell water balls. Yeah, okay. You better still be here when I get back. I did say I was going to cut down those dark oak trees earlier, but I can't be bothered. I'm already running low on time as it. Where did you come from? Are you a different one? I think this is a different wandering trader, considering they have llamas. Yes, this is an entirely different wandering trader. Well, let's see if I make it home alive. The answer was no, I could not. Yeah. Dang zombie. It did manage to get one of his llamas, though. What the? A brown llama? Where'd you come from? You're not his llama, because I just saw one of your llamas get killed by a zombie. Did his lead break? No, the lead dropped when the zombie killed that camel. Then whose llama are you? Wait, this must be the second llama of the original trader, the one that I'm getting the pale oak saplings from. Way over there now. Gosh dang. What a saga. I wonder if the camels... Not camels. I wonder if the llama spitting does any damage, because two of them wailing on that chainmail zombie didn't seem to do all that much. So I looked it up. So it turns out, one, two wandering traders, due to the rules they spawn under in the same general area, is actually quite unlikely. So that's somewhat of a rare event. Two, their inventory never refreshes. They just despawn after a while, and then a new one spawns in with a new inventory. And three, uh, walking away from them for long enough, unlike every other mob, doesn't actually despawn them. In fact, walking away from them is likely what kept them here, since it actually freezes their despawn timer, which is an interesting bit of information. Also, apparently, they like to stay within the same area where they spawned in, and so I shouldn't have been worried about them wandering away. That all said, none of that helps me right now, because it does really just boil down to wait for more wandering traders to show up, trade with them, and hope they have the last pale oak sapling I need. Geez, depending on how things go, I might not be able to do any digging during this recording session. I do like the look of a turned off television screen, but truthfully, I did want to put a face, but I couldn't figure out how to make it work with 1 pixel less overall. Maybe some other time. After all, I actually quite like non-standard faces. Alright, that's this section properly torched up. Alright, that's the railings done, and honestly, while I'm up here, I should just go ahead and do the torches too. And yes, that is me procrastinating on having to do the tedious bit of putting the logs under. Alright, and that's all torched up. Time to put the logs into place. Alright, nearly done. Just gotta take off all that bark. Geez, collecting all. Huh. Another wandering trader. Water bucket, fermented spider eye. Figures, and you're selling pale oak saplings too. Well, it shouldn't be difficult. I should be able to get water buckets without too much trouble. What the heck? It fell down a hole and instantly broke its lead. Yes, it does take the bucket. Well, time to go make another one. Wow, that zombie dropped 2 armor pieces. Unfortunately, not the enchanted chestplate it was holding. Ah, beautiful. That's a load off my mind. You know what? I was going to smelt these pieces of armor, but I figure, hey, a helmet and a pair of boots, that just happens to be what I'm missing. Might as well wear them. Alright, and that's gonna be all from me today. It feels weird doing a Minecraft session without any mining being in it, but I guess that's just how it goes sometimes. Funny. But I can't say it's disappointing. I can only say that it's baffling. Like I'm kind of missing the point. You get me? But that'll be all for this recording session, and I do believe that this was the 3rd out of 4. Next one will be the last. See you in just a few moments. What's on the agenda? Got food, got wood, gotta finish that bit, but first I'm gonna go ahead and do some digging because it was really silly to not do any of that during the last recording session. Start the timer and we're good to go. Eh, while I'm already up here, I might as well finish the job. Alright, that's the railings and torches placed. Let's get started on the safety platform before I put all the logs in. And naturally, I will need to harvest more logs. Well, that's unfortunate. That's character. It's always when you're in a hurry that you start messing up the most. Fact of life, I suppose. No, I did get super unlucky. I only got 3 saplings. Which is really something, because I had 2 extra saplings from the tree before this one. Which means that, yes, with 4 sapling trees, you can just get unlucky and not get a return on your saplings. Unless pale oak trees are especially random in that regard, but somehow I doubt it. So now I am going to have to wait until another wandering trader offers it up, because I won't be able to get any more saplings with what I have here. You ever just look at something and wonder why you made the decision to do it like that? Me too. And it's not even necessarily that with hindsight you come up with a better way to do it. You just look at your past work baffled and go, not only why did I do it like that, but why did I do that? You know, I'm super glad they added copper tools now, because this would be a heck of a lot slower and a heck of a lot more painful if I had to be using stone tools the whole time. Finally, an Enderman drops its pearl. Another one? Wow, I actually managed to kill an Enderman without it killing me first. That's actually quite an achievement. Alright, that's the bottommost layer done. Time for the top. We might still be a fair way from the center, but you can clearly see how far we've come. Especially from the bottom looking up. And now we're just that bit closer. Oh, hey, coal. Well, that doesn't. But instead of making more pickaxes and continuing the dig, there is one thing that I really wanted to do this video. And I likely won't be able to, but in the 45 minutes or so that I have left, I'm gonna give it my best shot. We're gonna go ahead and fill out this treasure map just in case it has what I'm looking for somewhere on its borders. Apparently, skeletons are way faster than I gave them credit for. Like, way faster.
Huh?
Where? There.
Huh.
Milk buckets, water bowls.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I'll still grab your stuff, but you're
Huh.
not selling anything I want. Oh? Hey, a village. Dang, if I knew a village was gonna be here, I would have brought my emeralds with me. Yo, you got an iron golem. And I wish I had one of these at home. Alright, inside of that chest was 3 obsidian, some apples, an iron chest plate, which I will take because why not, and a copper spear. Well, I'm not sure how to feel about that journey. I barely filled out any of the map. I got some loot. This iron chest plate, some obsidian, apples, which are worthless, more gold nuggets from some underwater ruin that I probably didn't fully loot because I underestimated the drown there. Still, though, I'd say that that leaves a perfect goal for next time to avenge myself and fill out this map. I need to find a few things after all. We're more than fine to call it off here. Thank you all for joining me on this journey. I hope you had as much fun as I did, or at the very least, relaxed as much as I did. Take care, you all, and I hope to see you next time, where I will probably record this back in 30 frames per second because, good golly, Miss Molly, this takes up a lot of hard drive space. Take care.